Alright, hey guys, welcome to your 60-minute restorative yoga class. My name is Bethany and I'm going to be leading you today. So restorative is exactly that, right? We're going to move nice and slow, just restore the body, do not as many poses as we normally do, but we're going to be holding them a lot longer. So some of you are probably really excited about that, and some of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, I don't like to sit still for more than a minute. So this may be a little bit more challenging for some than others. So I would just encourage you to maybe go ahead and set your intention of, I am enough, I do enough. Right? So there's nothing else you need to be doing right now. You don't have to hurry off and escape any of the poses, right? Just really focus on being, right? And remind yourself when your thoughts tend to wander that you are enough, you have enough, and you do enough. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's start seated today. So again, root down into your sits bones. If you've got a block, it's gonna be really nice to have for this class. So if you have a block and you want to come to sit on it, go ahead and do that. And I'll just lift your hips up a little bit and gently close your eyes. Roll your shoulders up, back and down away from your ears. Maybe we just start with a full breath in through the nose, and then open your mouth and sigh it out. And then deepening your breath with every inhale. Completely, exhaling fully. And since we will be holding the postures a little longer, it will be a little bit more challenging mentally. So counting the seconds of your inhales and counting the seconds of your exhales will help you stay focused. And you want to make sure that that number is the same. So we'll take a few breaths here together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. So continue to breathe here on your own. Maybe trying to get that number to 5 as you fill your lungs a little bit more. And gently drop your right ear to your right shoulder. We're going to take little half circles here with your neck. So drop your chin down to your chest. And then take your left ear to your left shoulder. We're going to inhale over to the right. And then exhale over to the left. Take one more round. Inhale. And exhale. And then dropping your chin back down to your chest, bring your hands to your heart center. Taking a moment here to honor the intention that we set for practice. I am enough. I have enough. And I do enough. And gently release your hands. If you're on a block, go ahead and remove it. And then inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to twist to your right. So take your arms out, right hand comes back behind you, left hand comes to your right knee. This is a gentle twist, so nothing crazy right now. If you do want to sit nice and tall, and if you can, maybe take your gaze back behind you. Again, not forcing the twist, just giving yourself a nice little assist. And then on your next inhale, release, sweep your arms back up, full breath in. And then exhale, twist to your left. And soften your shoulders. Release, inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, full breath in. As you exhale, you're going to take your right hand down to the side and reach your left arm up and over. So you want to keep a nice open chest here. We're stretching the left side of our body. So notice if your chest starts to collapse down, right? You want to peel your chest back open. Reach your heart up to the sky, gaze is up. And then switch sides. Reach your left hand down to your side, right arm reaches up and over. And you can use that bottom hand to kind of press into as you reach your opposite sit bone back down into the mat. So creating as much space as you can from your hip all the way up to your armpit. Come back to center and coming into Baddha Konasana, bottoms of your feet together. You can grab a hold of your ankles or maybe clasp your hands around your toes. Inhale, sit tall. As you exhale, imagine that you had a string tied to your sternum, pulling your chest forward. So you want to keep a nice flat back. And then if it's okay with your low back and your neck, then you can allow your head to be heavy. And again, if you have a block, then you can bring the block down and you can bring your head to the block on whatever level, right? So we're not forcing any of these postures. We're completely relaxed in them. Filling your lungs completely. Notice how you get a nice stretch in your upper back as you fill your lungs. Inhale, come back up to center. Straighten your legs out along your mat, moving into Paschimottanasana or a forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, reach forward and then fold. So if this is where you are today, turn sideways. Right, if this is where you are today, that's fine. Bring your hands down to the mat and you can use kind of the resistance of the mat to pull your chest forward. Okay, so again, you want to keep this nice flat back. Notice if you're curling your upper back just to get your head to your knees, right? That's not the goal. The goal is to feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings while protecting your back. So lengthen out through the spine. With every inhale, lengthen a little bit more. With every exhale, sink a little deeper. If you have really open hamstrings or just shorter legs like I do, you can take a block at your bottom of your feet to just give yourself a little bit more length. Next inhale, and gently release. Coming all the way back up. You're going to put a bend in your right knee. Bring your foot across your left leg. Right, so if that's not working out for you, then keep your foot on the inside. But if you can, get it across your left leg. And then inhale, sit nice and tall. As you exhale, you're going to hug your knee in and then twist to the right. So not only are you getting the benefits of a twist here, you should feel a nice stretch on the outside of your right leg, down your IT band. Okay, so maybe you twist a little bit more here. Using that resistance where you have your knee hugged in, or maybe you take your elbow to the outside of your knee to help twist you a little bit more. And then gently release. Right, moving nice and slow. Right, we're not in a hurry. Bend your left knee, foot on the inside or maybe the outside of your right leg. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Exhale, twist to your left. So either hug your leg in, taking your left hand back behind you, or you can take your elbow to the outside of your knee to help twist a little bit more. Gently release, extend your left leg back out, maybe shake your legs out, and then make your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over your wrist, hips over your knees. We're going to move through some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop your belly down, gaze and tailbone come up. And then as you exhale, curl your spine, take your chin to your chest. Inhale, sink your belly down, reach your heart forward, and exhale. So again, maybe you start to count the seconds of your inhales, drop your belly down, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, and exhale. And then take your knees out mat width apart. Big toes are together. Drop your hips back towards your heels as you reach your fingertips to the front of your mat. And then allow your forehead to rest. So you can even kind of rock your hips side to side. So you can nestle into your child's pose. And then you can always take your arms down by your sides. Or my favorite version of this pose, take your hands in between your legs. Maybe grab a hold of your toes or your heels. And then take one cheek to the mat. Reach your arms back out in front. We're going to move into puppy pose. So coming back up to hands and knees. Bring your knees back under your hips. You're going to take your hands out at maybe a foot in front and then drop your chest down. So you should feel a nice stretch in your shoulders. If you can bring your chin to the mat and do that, but keep your hips stacked over your knees. Fingers spread wide, pressing down into the mat. So it looks kind of funny, but it feels really good. Taking a few more deep breaths here. Press into your hands, lift your chest, walk your hands back. And you're gonna come all the way down onto your belly. And then keep your hands underneath your shoulders, tops of your feet into the mat. On an inhale, you're gonna lift your chest slightly. So pressing into your hands, soften your shoulders down, right? You don't want them up here like this. Roll them up and back. And then on an exhale, gently release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, peel your chest up off the mat, reach your heart forward, and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale all the way back down onto your mat. And take your right hand out so that it's perpendicular to your body, palm facing down, and you're gonna roll over onto your right shoulder. So I like to put a bend in my left knee, bring my foot flat to the mat. That just gives me a little bit more stability. But we're stretching your shoulders, so keep your arm out perpendicular to your body, palm facing down. You can allow your head to just rest on your mat. Again, maybe you use a block as a pillow. And then gently release. And we'll switch sides to come back onto your belly. Extend your left arm out, palm faces down. Roll over onto your left shoulder. Maybe put a bend in your right knee, bring your foot flat to the mat. Just close your eyes here. Come back onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Come back up, hands and knees. And then curl your toes, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. So you can pedal your heels out here. Just dropping one heel down to the mat, bending the opposite knee. Just kind of play around with this pose. Right, if it's your first down dog of the day, just explore the space, see what feels good, see how your body fits in the posture today. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Coming into ragdoll, so feet stay hip distance apart. Drop your chest towards your thighs and grab a hold of opposite elbows. If your hamstrings are tight, put a band in your knees. Right, again, very restorative. So you can bend your knees as much as you want to here. Maybe allow your chest to really rest on your thighs. But allow your head to be heavy. Remember, we're not holding on to any tension there. So if you need to shake your head yes, shake your head no, and do that so you can release that tension there in the neck and the head. And then release your bind, walk back out, downward facing dog. Slide your shoulders down away from your ears. And then on an inhale, come out into plank. And then we're gonna just drop your hips, coming into upward facing dog. So press the tops of your feet into the mat. Press into your hands, reach your heart up. Okay, take a few deep breaths here. And then coming back through your hands and knees. Curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take your gaze in between your hands. This is restorative, so we're not jumping. So you can walk or step to the top of your mat and halfway lift. Crown of your head reaches forward, thigh bones press back. And then exhale, forward fold. Allow your chest to melt towards your thighs. And then inhale, come all the way up, extended mountain. Reach your arms out and up. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up, extended mountain. And then as you exhale, grab a hold of your left wrist. Exhale, tilt to the right. Staying strong in your legs. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the left. And then inhale back to center. Release your hands, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, open up your chest. As you exhale, hinging at your hips, leading with your heart, you're gonna fold. And then allow your hands and your arms to just fall towards your mat. And then release your bind. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step your right foot back and then lower your knee down to the mat. And then you're gonna scoot your left foot over so both hands come to the inside of your left foot. So with your back knee down, you can stay here, right? We wanna feel a stretch in our right hip flexor, so the front of your right hip. So you can stay here if this is a pretty intense stretch, then stay here. You can come down onto your forearms. Or anywhere in between. Again, if you have a block, then you can bring your elbows to the block. Right, and our focus here is the right hip flexor. So if this left foot and your knee kind of want to fall out to the side, that's okay. You want to keep your face soft, your hands soft. hands in, lift your chest. Bring your foot back to center. Take your left hand to the outside of your left foot and then straighten your left leg as you send your hips back. And then we're not dropping our hips to our heel, right? We're sending the tailbone back. So as you do that, inhale, lengthen out through the spine. And then exhale, come on down any amount. Keep reaching your left toes up towards the ceiling. And then on an inhale, come back up to center, sink deep into your front knee. Curl your back toes, palm your mat, and you're going to step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come out into plank. Drop your hips, so we're skipping the chaturanga. And then exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Gaze in between your hands, come to the top of your mat, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Come all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Taking a moment here, honor that intention that you set for practice. And then inhale, sweep your arms up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. As you exhale, step your left foot back and then drop your knee down to the mat. Scoot your right foot towards the edge of your mat and then bring both hands to the inside of your foot. So again, tons of options. Stay here. Not a ton, I guess 3. Or come on to your forearms, or maybe using a block here. And stay tuned in to your breath. And you want to use your breath, not one to just keep you focused, but to use your breath and to visualize it going to that area of tension, right, which is probably your left hip. And visualize that air, that breath going to that area to help loosen it up a little bit. Keeping your hands soft. If you tend to kind of clench your fists, then maybe you just have your palms resting up. Walk your hands in, lift your chest, bring your foot back to center, and then straighten your right leg. Lengthen out through the spine, and then exhale, fold towards your right knee. Inhale, sink back into your front knee. Curl your back toes, press into your hands. Step back, downward facing dog. We're going to move into pigeon from here. So inhale your right heel to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to bring your knee forward. So take your knee to your right wrist and then try and get your shin parallel to the top of your mat. Keeping your hips squared, right? Not rolling off onto your right hip. And then inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, come on down any amount. And if this is not accessible to you on traditional pigeon, then you can always do this on your back, and I'll show you that real quick. If you're in traditional pigeon and you're fine, then just hang out there. But to come onto your back and get the same stretch, put a bend in your left knee, bring your foot flat to the mat, and then take your right ankle to your left knee. And then interlace your fingers around your thigh or maybe your shin. Make sure you flex through your right foot to protect your knee. So if you're in traditional pigeon, you want to notice where you can soften just a little bit more. And notice if you're holding on to any tension. It's a pretty intense stretch, so we tend to hang on in this pose. So notice if that's what's going on. And with every exhale, just allow a little bit more of your weight to deepen the stretch for you. Gently release. So if you're on your back in that modified pigeon, then just go ahead and switch sides. Take your left ankle to your right knee. If you're coming out of traditional pigeon, walk your hands in, lift your chest, curl your back toes, and then step back into downward facing dog. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, your left heel rises. Exhale, bring your knee forward for pigeon. And then take your time. Again, we're not in a rush. We're not in a hurry. So take your time. Get set up. Lengthen through your spine. And then come on down any amount. So if you can come all the way down onto your belly. And maybe you move into a twist. I should have offered this on the opposite side. But you can take your right hand and thread it underneath and come onto your right shoulder if you'd like. Staying present and in your body. Reach your right hip forward. Tuck your hands in, lift your chest. If you're in reclining pigeon on your back, then make your way to standing. Coming from traditional pigeon, make your way into downward facing dog. Maybe pedal your heels out a moment. And then take your gaze in between your hands, come to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And come all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And we're gonna move into some balance here. And we're gonna start with starfish, and then we're gonna transition into tree pose. So ground your left foot down into your mat. And starfish is exactly what it sounds like. You're gonna make a starfish with your body. So reach your right arm up or your right leg up off the mat, any amount. Arms reach out and up. Keep a nice open chest. Notice if you start to collapse again, reaching the chest towards the floor, you want to open back up. Get your gaze set on something that's not moving. Pull your belly in and up. And then keep that lifted leg, your right leg, nice and active. So flex through your foot. Tune into your breath. We're going to transition into tree pose. Bring your right foot anywhere below or above your knee. So you can come to your ankle or your calf or all the way up to the inner thigh. Ground down into both feet. Left quad is nice and engaged. Lifting up out of your hips. Lengthen through your spine, and then take any arm variation here that takes you to your fullest expression. Back to heart center, and then gently release your leg. And we'll move into starfish on the opposite side. Ground your right foot down into the mat. Reach your left leg up, arms reach out. Start to transition into tree pose. And then taking any variation here. Back to heart center, and then release your left leg, and then make your way back to a seated position on your mat. We're going to take one more forward fold to extend your feet out, root down into your sits bones. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, reach forward and then fold. On an inhale, halfway lift, so you're just lengthening your spine here. Exhale, forward fold. Come all the way back up. Make your way onto your back. And we're going to move into bridge. So if you have a block, again, moving into a restorative bridge is going to be perfect. So put a bend in your knees, bring your feet flat to the mat. And you're going to lift your hips, bring the block right above your sacrum, at your low back. And it should feel comfortable, so maybe play around with it to where you can rest on it. And then have your palms reaching up by your sides. If you don't have a block and you're moving into traditional bridge, then as you lift your hips, you walk your shoulders underneath you, interlace your fingers, if that's possible. If not, just pressing your palms down. Gently release. Come all the way down onto your back, one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then take your knees out wide, bottoms of your feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. Palms again, resting up. Reclose your eyes. Notice the rise and fall of your belly, the beating of your heart. And taking a moment here to just have a sense of gratitude around that breath, around that beat, because we are not guaranteed another one. And it just happens naturally, right? That we kind of take it for granted. So just taking a moment here, having a sense of gratitude. Back up to center. We're going to move into another back bend. So you can come back into bridge, supported or not. Or you can move into wheel, which is a full back bend. If you feel that's what your body needs, then please feel free to take it. You just bring your hands back by your ears. And then lift your chest and just lift your whole body up. Make sure your feet face forward. I am a fan of supported bridge, so I'll hang out here. Gently release. Make your way back down onto your back. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then hug both knees in towards your chest. And maybe you rock from side to side, massage your spine. And then we're going to move into an inversion. So we're going to move into waterfall. If you have a block, you bring the block where it was in bridge, and you bring your feet straight up. So this is waterfall. It's nice and restorative. It's not a full inversion because your heart isn't above your head, but it's still reversing the blood flow and increasing the circulation. So if you have a block, feel free to hang out there. In waterfall, if you don't have a block, but you have a wall, which I'm sure you do, you can move into legs up the wall. So you sit sideways, taking your hip to the wall, and then you slide your legs up and come onto your back. So again, get nice and comfortable. We're gonna hang out here for a few minutes. Gently release. So slide your legs down to one side and then come back onto your mat. And we're going to move into supported fish. So grab your block if you have one. If not, I'll show you traditional fish in just a moment. But if you do not have a block, I would highly encourage you to invest in one, because this pose right here will make it all worth it. So you place the block in between your shoulder blades. You may need to adjust it a little bit here. You want to take the skinny side of the block. I'm just going to go up and down your back, but more towards your upper back. And then allow your head to fall back. Maybe it meets the mat, maybe it doesn't. If that's not okay, if you have another block or maybe a pillow you can place underneath your head. This is just a huge heart opener. So taking a nice deep breath, notice how that feels to really open up your chest. If you don't have a block, then you come onto your forearms. So you're going to tuck your fingertips underneath your bottom. And then come onto your elbows, hug them in towards the midline, and then reach your heart up as you drop your head back. So again, it's a little bit more work, but still getting the same benefits. And gently release. Come all the way back down onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. And then take your arms out to a T. Lower your knees to the right as you take your gaze down your left arm. So if this isn't a deep enough twist for you, you can always straighten your legs out or even cross your top leg over your bottom leg. Back to center. And then lower to the left, taking your gaze down your right arm. Towards your chest. And then moving into happy baby. So grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers or maybe the outer edges of your feet. You're going to pull your knees towards your armpits. And then try to get everything in a 90-degree angle. Ankles and knees. Maybe rock from side to side. And then lengthen your feet out along your mat, moving into Shavasana. So if you have a blanket or maybe some extra layers of clothing that you would like to put on, go ahead and do that now. And then really get settled in to your mat. And so this is a posture just like any other, and you want to make sure that you're comfortable so that you can stay here for a few moments. Allow your feet to fall out to the sides. Palms resting up. Maybe you walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Allow your natural breath to take over. and to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And roll out your ankles, your wrists. Take one final stretch. Reach your arms above your head. Point your toes. Take a full breath in and out. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. And then gently roll to your right side, coming into the fetal position. You can prop yourself up with your bottom arm. And then keeping your eyes closed to make your way to a seated position on your mat. And stay nice and tall in the spine. Bringing that intention back to the forefront of your mind. And then take that intention with you off of your mat as you go throughout the rest of your day. And remember that you only have enough strength for today. So try not to worry about tomorrow. That strength will come tomorrow. Right? And knowing that right now, today, you are enough. You have enough, and you do enough. Bring your hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. All right, guys, thanks for class. You can check me out on Instagram at Yoga with Bethany. I have a teacher training coming up in May, so if you're interested or know someone who does, send them to my website, www.yogawithbethany.com, and continue to follow Caroline at All of You Whole, and continue with this cleanse. Good luck. See you next time. Namaste.